What's going on, everyone? It's Matt Deeks here with another video, and today we are going to dive into my max damage tactical build. If you want to compare, if you want to keep up with the likes of a bulwark and a heavy in terms of raw sheer damage, this is the layout for you guys. Now, before we get into it, you need to know that this class or this perk layout is not extremely balanced. This is tilted towards maximum damage. So keep that in mind when going into this video, guys, because I know there are other perks that might make this a more balanced class or a balanced, let's say, layout. However, we are going for max damage to make this layout and perk tree go for maximum tankiness. All right, guys, so remember that going into this video. Now, in this video, we're going to go over the perk tree. We're going to go over all the different perks, core, gear, signature, team. We're going to go into the prestige perks as well, and we're also going to go into my primary weapon, my secondary weapon, and my melee weapon, and going over all the perks regarding those as well. If that's something you're interested in, guys, sit back, enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, guys, so let's get into the perk tree. All right, so let's start off with the first perk. And I'm going to go over the perks that I have set up here for the tanky tactical. However, I'm going to go over also the perks that I usually use for my kind of balanced tactical build. And you can see the difference from what I recommend to use just as if you want a balanced build versus this pure max damage tank tactical. Okay, so let's get into it. So for my first core perk, guys, I chose Plasma Boost. As you can see, my secondary weapon is, my sidearm is the Plasma Pistol. So right here, guys, so when plasma weapons are 30% overheated, their damage increases by 40% and their charge shots use 1 less damage. Moving on to my second core perk, guys, we have Heightened Vigor. After a perfectly timed parry, block, or dodge, you deal 10% more melee and gun strike damage. Do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and cannot be knocked back knocked back for 10 seconds. Okay, so what I recommend, guys, is whenever you see a perk that has that do not lose control upon taking heavy hits and cannot be knocked back, that's a huge benefit for you. I would highly recommend taking that whenever you can. Getting knocked back is annoying, and you're not always going to be able to dodge those red attacks. So taking something like this will really benefit you. Moving on to the third core perk, guys, we have Emperor's Judgment. So after a finisher, the equipped ranged weapon reloads automatically, and your ranged weapons deal 20% more damage. Again, guys, continuing with max damage, we have a 20% increase here, and we have a 40% increase here. All right, so keep that in mind that these are not always what I'm going to be using for a balanced tactical. However, if you're going for max damage, these perks are really going to be felt. All right, guys, let's go into the team perk here. For my team perk, you have to run Secure Stockpile. It's probably one of the best team perks in the game, in my opinion. A very close second to this would be the Unmatched Seal perk from for Vanguard, but those two, honestly, 1 and 2 in my opinion, with this being number 1. If you're running Secure Stockpile and you have a Melt-A-Bomb or even a crack grenade in your arsenal, guys, you become a nuke producing machine, and it's great for, operations, siege mode, late game siege mode. It's insane. Stratagems now. It's a fantastic perk to have. Highly recommend you have Secure Stockpile on for this class layout. Now, moving on to our gear perks. Now, this first gear perk is really going to go well with Secure Stockpile. So again, guys, going for max damage, so target lock, so enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 75% more damage. Okay, guys, that's huge. The Melt-A-Bomb already does insane damage. You pair that with a 75% boost, it's bonkers. So try that one out. Now, usually when I'm using my balanced build, I'll either I'll either use one of the top two. So I'll either use priority targeting. The mark from Auspex Scan lasts 8 seconds longer, but Auspex Scan ignores my Norris, or I'll use this top one here. However, the reason we're not using this one, number one, there's no increase in damage. Guys, I'm going for max damage. So for me, I did not choose this one, and there's another reason why I did not choose that one, which we're going to get into in 2 gear perks from now, but we'll hold that thought for now, okay? So for the first gear perk, guys, we chose Target Lock. For the second gear perk, I chose Precise Calibration. So enemies marked by Auspex Scan take an additional 75% damage, but the scan's radius is reduced by 25%. Honestly, guys, I wouldn't worry too much about that. You don't really feel that 25% very much. And if you hit them right, you will not feel that 25%. So you got to be taking that 75% damage in order for this build to work. Moving on to the third gear perk, guys, we have Concentrated Fire. Now, this is where it gets a little dicey, but Auspex Scan Zone lasts 60% longer. So remember what I said here, guys. We forego the 8% increase in seconds for the 60% longer, all right, in Auspex Scan. So enemies marked by Auspex Scan take an additional 120% damage, but they lose the mark when they leave the scanned area. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't just spam that Auspex Scan willy-nilly. You got to be timing it right. If you know certain enemies will jump, like the boss at the end of Decapitation, don't just place it right off the bat. For example, let the Hive Tyrant jump to you, then place it, right? That's just one example. If you're fighting enemies like Tyranids, they love to jump around, so you are going to lose some enemies in this, guys. But I'm telling you, when you pair this with bosses, with Extremis, with Terminus, you really feel the difference, guys. 120% stacked with 75%, guys. That's 195% damage increase. That's insane. You will feel it. I was playing Decapitation, and we pretty much killed the Hive Tyrant in less than what feels like a minute almost. Honestly, it was insane. And paired with some other perks that we're going to go into that restore our ability charge more often, guys, this is an insane layout. So you got to give it a try. Let's move into the signature perk, guys. I chose Marked for Death, so a headshot will instantly kill Majoris or Extremis level enemies marked by Auspex Scan. Pretty straightforward. Pairing that with the plasma pistol, guys, you can really hone in on that headshot. Again, doesn't work really well with the melter rifle, but with the plasma pistol, you can really hit those headshots beautifully. So getting those insta kills on Majoris or Extremis are beautiful. All right, so let's move into the prestige perks here, guys. So I won't go into too much detail on each single one because they're really self-explanatory. But first one, I got Skilled Supplier. Ammo reserve increases by 15%. Again, guys, we did not choose this one, Emperor's Vengeance, so I want that a little bit of an increase in ammo. So I chose Skilled Supplier. And then we chose Fortitude, health increase by 15%. I'll take that blanket, 15% increase in health any day. And then these two guys right here are what really make this build what it is, because they increase the ability charge regeneration rate. So Exigency Charge, when your health is less than 25%, ability charge regenerates 15% faster, okay? Pair that with this one here, guys, Spare Power. Collecting an ammo box restores ability charge by 25%. Now, guys, ammo boxes are plenty. Even if you're playing on Absolute, they're plenty. They're there. So look for them. Destroy those crates, pick up those ammo boxes, and get that 25% ability charge. All right. So you pair those two with these three right here, guys, and you're laughing. All right. Anyways, let's get into my melee weapon, my secondary, and my primary. All right. Let's start off with the chainsword. All right, so let's get into the perk tree. Actually, sorry, before I get into that, I did not choose the heroic version. For me, personally, and the way I play, I like the relic version a little more, and I chose the fencing variant, all right? In terms of the perks, guys, you'll see that there are a few things that I'll get into, mainly in the artificer area, where I switched for this build so that I can make it more of a tanky build. So let's start off with, guys, we have a perpetual strength. We have a swift recovery. We have 2 perpetual strikes, so now we're already at a 15% boost in melee damage. And then we have Saw Blade here, guys. So I chose the bottom, kind of the bottom tier. Saw Blade light combo, length increases from 4 to 5 strikes. Then we got Heavy Onslaught, and we have Combined Onslaught. So these two will increase the attack damage for, this one's for light and this one's for heavy. All right, so you kind of covers both. Now, usually, guys, I choose Trampling Stride. So after performing a stomp, hold the attack button to perform an additional stomp. I really like that perk because I utilize stomps very often. However, I opted for Minoris Slayer because I'm going for max damage. I know this causes damage, but I want just stat damage. I want to know that I'm increasing by certain percentages. So for me, guys, I chose Minoris Slayer. So melee damage against Minoris level enemies increases by 20%. You're probably thinking like Minoris. Okay, I'm telling you guys, when you're playing on Absolute or you're playing Siege mode, high level Siege mode, Minoris can actually do some damage. They're annoying, right? And especially when you got those little Tyranids biting at your ass. I'm telling you guys, this 20% increase, you will feel it. They're 1 to 2 slices away from death. So you really just slice through them and you take them off the table so you can focus on Majoris and higher, right? I know this might seem stupid, but I'm telling you guys, when you're playing high level, those Minoris actually do cause some damage. They bite at your leg and they really annoy you, and getting them off the table really benefits you. Moving on to the relic here, guys, we have Extremist Slayer. So melee damage against extremist level enemies increases by 15%. And then lastly, guys, we have Momentum Gain. So each consecutive light attack increases light attack melee damage by 3%, and that goes all the way up to 30%, and it's for 3 seconds. All right, guys, feel free to take a screenshot. Let me know what you think of this build. All right, so moving on to my plasma pistol, guys, I chose the top right version simply just because I want more magazine capacity. And as for the perk tree, guys, I won't go into every single one in detail, but you can see here, plasma collection. I have rapid cooling. Another plasma collection, trying to increase the reserve for this weapon, as you can see. Blast radius, so damage radius of a charge shot increased by 10%. That was a really good one, so if you missed your shots, you still get some damage. Then we have perpetual velocity, another plasma collection, efficient charge, perfect cooling, and charged cooling. As for the Melta rifle, let's go into it. I chose the top right, the Ophidian Liberation Alpha. And as for the perk tree, guys, you can see here, again, I won't go too much into detail, but feel free to pause the video, take a screenshot, and try to copy this as well. Extended magazine, magazine restoration, great might. That's another beautiful damage increase of 10% to Terminus. And then we have Divine Might, just a blanket 10% increase. Then we have extended magazine, fast reload. This one's a really big one, guys, because this gun takes a long time to reload. Then we have first shot, retaliation, and guys, this one right here is really important in my opinion. Perpetual fire. Fire rate increases by 10%. You will feel the difference. I'm telling you, this gun does not shoot very fast, so putting this on is nice. All right, it's a nice addition to this gun. And that's honestly it, guys. Let me know what you think of this build down below. Have you ever used this perk tree layout? I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about this, whether it's positive or negative. And guys, just keep in mind, like, this is not the layout I would choose for a balanced tactical. This is very much tilted towards maximum damage. You will be a tank on the battlefield. You will, with your Auspex scan, be able to melt enemies, whether they're extremists, terminus, or boss fights, like no other build. All right, guys? But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this down below. I really appreciate you watching up to this point. If you've got up to this point, don't forget to like, subscribe, and guys, I'll see you in the next one.